Well, hello there, and thank you for tuning in to the Shameless Sex Podcast. I'm Amy, sex educator, somatic sex and relationship coach, and sex shop owner.
And I'm April, VP of an international high-end pleasure product company and boss queen sex toy mogul. We're best friends who make our own rules about who we are as sexual beings.
With everything from how to be a badass in the bedroom, to pussy praising, to top tips for bringing your relationship to the next level, we have something just for you.
So sit back, relax,
And enjoy the show.
Don't forget to head on over to our website at shamelesssex.com for more. And for 15% off of some of our favorite sex toys, use coupon code SHAMELESSPP in all caps at purepleasureshop.com.
Hello, everyone.
Ciao, bella, everybody.
That's a switch from Amigos.
Well, I know it is, because we're in Europa.
We're in Germany, actually.
Willkommen, y'all.
Willkommen.
Scheiße, nine. That's Amy's favorite.
Oh, my God.
She's like, what time do we have to get up? 9. I was like, what time? 9.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Germany. Yeah, so we're at a trade show. It's it just started today.
It's in Hanover.
We're in Hanover, yes, which is always gloomy, apparently.
It is very gloomy.
Oh, I saw the sun today for about 5 seconds. There was a crack right when the sun was
You
going
look
down.
pretty tan.
I am not tan from Germany, that's for sure.
Wait, we should tell everyone who we're here with.
Oh, my God.
Because there's two fabulously dapper, amazingly handsome gentlemen next to us. Oh, my God.
So we only have 2 mics, again, as usual, so it's going to be a little back and forth. But who do we have, April?
So we have Mr. Adam Lewis.
From?
All the way from Shogi London of Hot Octopus.
Whee!
Hot Octopus.
Then
And who do we have, Amy?
We have Mr. Steven Magnusson from Uberlube.
And he's from Chicago, coming in hot, Chi-Town.
We talk about these
Y'all.
products all the time, but we actually finally trapped them in our hotel room. We caught them with a mosquito net, and we dragged
It sounds
them
dirty
in
when you
here.
say that. We have them chained right
Yes.
now.
I was out catching them with little like butterflies, and I caught them and I dragged them, and I was like, "You will come on our podcast."
So just to be obviously open and transparent, as we always are on Shameless Sex, we work for these two companies, but we work for them, with them, really, because we believe in what they're doing. Boutique, amazing products that obviously we enjoyed using before we even were there. I don't have a penis. I didn't grow one yet, but Hot Octopus is expanding and we have amazing things.
Yeah, your products are beyond penises.
I know. We just came out with the Queen Bee.
I actually was in your booth today talking to someone as if I worked for your company for about 5 seconds.
I know. He's like, my name's
You
Jans.
see that?
I'm a
Yeah.
journalist. Yeah.
He walked up, he's like, "So what is this?" Like, well, actually, okay, so I'll just talk to you. And I didn't tell him till the very end, like, so I don't work for this company. But then I plugged Uberlube. I was like, so I actually work for Uberlube, but I'm just here because this is my best friend, and I've done some stuff for Hot Octopus, and then here's April Biden. Just like,
I was like, what? Jans. Yeah, she did a great job. He's like,
peeled out of
okay.
there.
I buy something now,
Yeah.
no? I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
you did. Thank you
That
for
was-
listening to Amy's spiel.
That was a good, yeah. I did a good job, I thought.
So I think the trade show has been exhausting, but we're happy. And having our two best, I think they're our trade show husbands pretty
They
much.
are Trisha husbands.
Like at every trade show you have a husband or a wife.
or like kind of like a brother, but like a
But
brother
yeah,
husband.
but that's, it's like your person. You eat dinner with them, you wake up with them in the morning, have coffee.
like always together.
There's no banging it out. It's platonic, but it's platonically work oriented.
But it's very loving.
and it's loving.
Yeah, I think this is a good. Well, and also I like having these impromptu kind of guests here, because we usually you and I go have a little banter. And we'll have a topic, prostate 101. But it's also kind of fun to get real life perspective because we talk about sex toys and the sex toy industry, and I think that a lot of people think that it's this like, I mean, these are real people who had a vision. And
did really different things before that.
Yeah.
And wait, so Adam, can you give a little bit of your background before you started at Hot Octopus, please?
Who the fuck
Just so
are
people
you?
know, who are you?
Well, firstly,
Oh my God, everyone, he's
April
British.
and Amy, I would like to thank you very much for giving me the honour to being part of this wonderful podcast that is now, from what I understand, becoming globally renowned. And you two
Globally.
are going to be far too famous to be speaking to me and dear Stephen in a not too distant future, I'm quite sure. But in the meantime, you do, April especially, you do work for us. So I will, of course, enjoy the time where you're still at the same level of me and you will still speak to me.
Eating chips at IKEA?
Eating chips at IKEA, exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Adam. I am the founder of Hot Octopus, and as I said before, I've been kindly invited to join this wonderful podcast. So, to answer your question, Amy, how did I get into Hot Octopus?
I actually asked that question.
I do. I'm sorry. Have I messed up already?
No, you're doing
Do
great.
we have the edits?
No.
Well, sorry, April. Why did I get in? How did I come up with the idea that founded?
Well, what'd you
Hot
do
Octopus?
before this, though? What'd you do before
yes,
Hot
of course,
Octopus?
Sorry. So I was managing director of a conference organizing company. So my job was to come up with ideas for conferences, speaker listener type conferences, and come up with topics, create these events, and then run them with a team.
You just dreamt about masturbation like every night after you got home from the conference calling?
Since the age of 4, yes.
I know. Well, so this is one of my favorite things that the story that I tell when I do trainings on the road for Hot Octopus is Adam's way that he fell in love with he's like, what am I passionate about? What am I passionate about? Wanking. So will you please tell the listeners, because I think that y'all appreciate this because it's beautiful.
Well, this is true, right? So when I was at school and following my hobby of, I think like most, young teenage guys, we all like to play with our bits, right? And I used to get caught at school. I went to boarding school, so I got caught quite a bit by the headmasters and mistresses. And do you know what the irony is? They said to me, Lewis, Adam Lewis, my surname's Lewis, stop it, nothing will come of it. The irony, nothing will come of it as well.
No
but
pun
anyway,
intended.
No pun intended. But, here we go. Nothing will come of it. And here I am, many years later, kingpin of a sex toy company. So how wrong were they? And the irony was, and I think I should sue them, because had they encouraged me in my pursuits and hobbies, who knows what I could be? I could be a multi-millionaire by now. Hot Octopus could be, $1 billion industry, because, my school encouraged me to follow my dream. And there they were, discouraging me, telling me nothing would come of it. And yeah, here I am many years later, king of my own
Sex
masturbation
toy
empire.
genius. And P.S., we have a booth and people line up. They're like, is he the CEO? Is he the founder? I'm like, this is the founder. He's pretty famous.
Yeah.
You walk around and he's very attractive. Both of these gentlemen are extremely, probably top 5 best looking people in the industry.
Stop it.
That's both of you.
Well, for all you gents out there listening, I mean, you hear about American football players, NFL, NBA, and you think, oh, they've got the best job in the world. Well, guys and girls out there, I'm a professional wanker. So all the NBA professionals listening there, they're thinking, shit, that was the profession I should have pursued, right?
Well, I have to say for our listeners, it's called Shameless Sex, and I think that and you'll hear from Steven, but Amy and I pride ourselves on shamelessness, talking about sex, and Adam, I think you embody that with what he's is extremely shameless, and I adore that. So
it's not shameless. I'm just, honest and frank about who I am and my sexuality and what interests me, and I'm just truthful about life. I don't hide behind who I am and what I like to do, and I'm just upfront and just Adam, right?
Yeah. And
Amen.
I think that, Adam, you smash it. You just smash it. He hates when I say killing it. He says, it's so American. Smash it. And Steven, what about you? Did you do something interesting before the adult industry?
Interesting. Did
you wank professionally, just like Adam?
He needs a microphone. Here we go. Were you in the tech industry? What were you doing before you were Lube?
It's not nearly as exciting as Adam's.
Well, Adam's before story wasn't that exciting either.
Yeah, but the way he tells it, he's just natural.
Well, because he has a British
I came
accent.
out of boring.
Everything with a British
high
accent.
Tech.
Okay, well
sales.
let's get that quick. How the fuck did you come to the name Uber Lube? Everyone thinks it's German. It's not German. It's made in Chicago. How did that come about?
Yeah,
the
so
Uber Lube.
I was getting out of my old pardon me. I was getting out of my old career, and I was looking for a new project. I'd done pretty well just out of school, and we were having burgers up at a little Chicago pub. And a girlfriend of ours was saying how she got hired to write an article on Lube, and we said, "You got to tell us about Lube," we got to know something about that. And so she goes through the basics and talks about this lube does this and this one is good at that. I don't really remember the content of what she was saying. And she finally said, well, and then this one, I just called it Uber Lube. And it dawned on me that I need to make something called the Uber Lube. I don't even know what Uber meant. This is actually predates Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
And Uber the car company.
Where yeah, and definitely where Uber, the word, was not even a part of the American vernacular. So I had to look it up, see what it meant. But, and when people say, hey, can I borrow that idea? Nobody does that, but I did.
Yeah.
So I built a laboratory. I got a stack of books as tall as me.
I'm going to learn how to make lube.
Yeah. So I learned how to make
And then
lube.
made,
And I
like,
locked
the
myself
best
in
lube
a
ever.
laboratory. And
He threw the key away for a while. He just flushed it down the toilet, found his way out. No, there's
really
no
didn't.
lube
I really
experience.
didn't. But what I realized quickly and why I knew I had to come up with the product was there were no good products on the market at that time. There was either your grandfathers or grandmas, like,
right at
Dr. Brand.
Get it at the general department
medical,
store, not department store,
medical,
but
like Dr. Jellyfingers type of lube.
Yeah, lube's like the universal product. Lube, and people, we get this. I still see this to this day. I see this from like 25-year-olds, where they're still all ages. We're like, why should I need that? I don't need lube. I shouldn't need that. My woman shouldn't need that. My man shouldn't need that.
I actually go through that with my partner right now. He's
Fucking
like,
drives me
you're
crazy.
not horny? You're not getting wet. And I'm like, wait, ¿con permiso?
Okay,
Wait,
yes.
that's very Spanish. But I was like, dude, sometimes my hormone levels change.
Yeah.
I love lube. I'm a lube bastard. No, what did I say? I'm a
Sugar
horny
horny
bastard
bitch.
and a lube
A
whore.
horny
No.
bastard.
A
Well,
lube
okay, and let's talk about. So I think we've quoted this book before. That book, "Come as You Are," that talks about so many wonderful things. If you've never, you can get it in an audiobook, or you can buy it in your local sex shop, and it's a wonderful book. But it talks about arousal non-concordance and how our body's responses don't always match our arousal levels. In fact, quite often don't. And this is the same for erections, the same for wetness.
I was about to say that's the same for men and women.
Yeah.
I can be
Y'all
horny as
wake up
hell
with-
and have a floppy.
or you could have a hard dick
Well,
and you're like
Yeah, sitting
like
at
when
my
you wake-
desk reading poetry, like, why have I got an erection?
Why is
and when I
this
need
here?
one, and
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I haven't had sex for like 2 weeks. I'm so horny. And my mind's, and then the willy just, sorry, what's that? That's cock in American. It's just like, why are you not interested? I am interested. Why are you not interested? I am interested.
He's looking at his cock and
I'm
talking
looking
to
at
it
my
right
cock
now.
and talking. But, it's funny because the penis and the mind don't always correlate. You can be horny as hell and floppy as shit, or not horny, as also happens, and walking around with an erection all day. So
I think,
I'd add that.
those kind of myths are really limiting for people because then you get the shaming. So
Well,
someone's
I felt very shamed in that situation. I was like, hey, stop. And I
Yeah.
said, hey, do you, and we've talked about this before. I was like, and this was very recently in the past, I guess, couple of weeks where my pussy wasn't cooperating, just like the willy doesn't cooperate. And I completely felt shamed. So I was like, I love lube, and that's one thing about Uber Lube that I love. The glass bottle, it's beautiful, and there's no shame in it. I feel like it's a cosmetic.
It's
Same with Hot
gorgeous.
Octopus, though. You look at
Yeah.
it, it's like there's no shame in the masturbation game. And people came to our trade show booth today saying, this product looks so great. Like, I want to put it on my willy. I want to wank
My
with
willy.
it. Yeah, this is Adam's British way.
My Willie's looking at us. We're like, what's wrong? Why aren't you going to play
Hello,
with me?
is this thing on? Hello,
Hello.
hello.
Is anyone home?
I want to ask Adam. Well, at least with
Wait,
our
I want to finish that point real quick,
shut
though.
up.
In summary,
Sorry.
everyone, because this is a very important sex ed moment. In conclusion of what we are saying is that if just because the pussy isn't wet doesn't mean they're not aroused, and vice versa. If they're wet doesn't necessarily mean they are aroused.
And same with the cock.
It's based on hormones. It's very much based on stress levels. It's based on glands. I have a gland that's blocked,
medication.
but I don't think we're gonna
That's
say
true. So in Come As You Are,
Yeah.
and I had to flex that with my partner now because I did feel
Because
that,
but it's also new knowledge. So I'm not
Right.
shaming them for accidentally shaming you because most people.
that's why
think
period
that.
sex is great though. Free lube.
Oh Lord, Red. Are we going there?
Well,
All right. Anyways, you
no
had a question
shame in
for
our
Adam.
game. Okay, Adam, Mr. Lewis.
Mr. Lewis.
So
Hello.
it started off, you were in this amazing world of what it wasn't that amazing to you because it wasn't your passion, and you're very passionate about what you do, and you're very good at it. You do all the product, basically development and genius behind this brand, which go to hotoctopus.com with 2 S's. I'm not trying to pitch it, but it's fucking amazing website. Like, look at it. I'm not really. So where did the Hot Octopus come from? Like the actual, not the name, but like the products. Right now there's a bunch of different ones, but the brand in general started with Pulse.
The story of Pulse.
Yes, if you want to.
Yeah. Twist my arm. You can tell I'm very shy.
I know you are.
So the whole sort of where Pulse came from, or the product's called Pulse, where the whole idea of the company came from was, of course, personal need. So as you've already discovered from my earlier part in this brief, I'm a keen wanker. And this is something, and again, we talk about hormones and just everyone's different, but I've been a keen wanker since about the age of 7. My penis and I have had a very close personal relationship for many, many years, and it likes attention from me. And what can I say? So since a young age, I've paid it attention. And it all began very early on, about the age of 7, when I was at my grandparents'. They have a swimming pool. I was fortunate. And I was crawling along the side, age 7, and I got to the hot water jet. And boy, when it hit my little willy, a light bulb came on, and that was, this is something I really like. So it's that frenulum stimulation. Anyone who knows the frenulum, it's the little, some people call it the banjo string, just underneath the head of your penis. And any kind of stimulation to that, in this case, I was 7, it was warm water in a jet, and that really did it for me. So that was my first foray into frenulum stimulation, rather than, the age-old up and down motion, which we guys have been doing. And that led me to, make up my own little sort of sex toys that created frenulum stimulation throughout the ages, until one day I'm sitting there with a vibrating egg strapped onto my penis thinking, this is amazing, right? And then it dawned to me saying, come on, Ad, it's time to go a little bit more professional on this. Let's go onto the internet, Google, male vibrating sex toys, and buy myself something that isn't homemade. And to my complete amazement, nothing existed that used vibrations, let alone any kind of technology. It was all very kind of phallic, fake vaginas, vibrating pussies, all of the stuff that I guess, we're kind of accustomed to thinking of when we think of male toys. And at that stage, I just thought, Adam, you're just a filthy bastard. You're the only male in existence that likes vibrations on his penis. But that, I'm quite a sensible guy, and that thought didn't last too long. There's 1.5 billion plus guys in the world, and, I kind of figured if I like vibrations to the old frenulum, surely there's other guys that like it. And so I kind of thought to myself, well, okay, it doesn't take the brain of Britain to realize that, it's a pretty big market. If I could come up with a vibrating toy that really worked, that shit, we could have a really good selling product. So that's what I did. Me and my business partner Julia, we went out and we started hitting up design agencies. And guys, I just remember the first sort of meeting. We were at Julia's house. We had about 5 design agencies turn out, and I'm telling you, when I turned up with my sock and vibrating egg and this kind of homemade strap,
That's
3
what
of
you
them.
showed
Oh my
them?
God, 3 of them ran out
Do you
the
still
door.
have it?
I do.
Oh
actually,
my God.
I swear to you.
This is like the sex toy museum, yeah.
But oh my goodness, these guys just looked at me, went green, and said, we just need to leave. And literally 3 out of the 5 left. One of them said, I'm not sure. It's kind of a bit of a conflict of interest with our other customers. And one of them went, yeah, fuck it. We'll have a go at creating this vibrating toy for you. So, that's kind of where it started. I could tell you more.
What kind of egg was it?
Just those standard, $5 vibrating eggs that have a wire to control unit.
Okay, because
I'm telling you.
from my seat, I get that, but I'm imagining our listeners saying, wait, are we talking like grade A hen eggs?
Oh,
or something?
shit.
Because,
Sorry, guys.
That's what normal people are used to.
This is it. You know, when you're in the industry and you say
Crack
vibrating
the
egg.
yolk over the head of the cock.
All right. Yes. This was an already existing vibrating egg sex toy, which is predominantly used, I guess, for female pleasure and sometimes inserted into like other toys to make them vibrate. So, sorry. Yes. Thank you, Stephen, for clarifying. This was no ordinary hen's egg. This was a
That would be some like delicate wanking.
basic vibrating sex toy. So yeah, that's kind of, and I could go on, but yeah, I think that kind of covers where it
So we
started
can
to
all,
start with.
it just all comes back to the good old hot tub jet or pool jet.
Let's thank the jet.
Age 7. Well, April, you said you started wanking since you were 6 with your bear.
With my teddy bear.
Barry. Yeah.
Teddy bear Barry.
You too,
when I was
horny
6.
bastards. Yeah,
I actually lost Barry when my mom divorced her second husband.
There's
And I
photos.
actually went back to look for it and we did not get along. And I was like, "Do you have Barry?" He's like, "Who's Barry?" I was like, "My bear. I have a picture with Barry. We
Barry
can
was
post
a-
it
Barry
somewhere.
was a
Me and
lady,
Barry and my
by the
dad.
way. Yeah, yeah.
I have it." My mom
They go
actually
way
started
back.
listening to the podcast like not too long ago because it took her a minute because there's a lot of information. I mean, Amy and I are very courageous in our shamelessness, I think. And my mom is super Midwestern and conservative. And so she was like, "So I finally listened to all of your podcasts." And I was
Did you
like,
really do that with Barry?
and then she said, "Yeah." She's like, "I didn't know you were using Barry that way. That was your Christmas present when you were 5. And I was like, well,
I got
she's
a lot
like,
of
I
use out
wondered
of
why
it.
the nose was always smushed down. She fucking said that.
That's awesome.
And I was like, she's like, I always just thought you were sleeping on it at night. But anyway, yeah, Mom, shout out. If you're listening to this one, love you. You're the most innocent, wonderful mummy ever.
Mummy.
Picking up
you're
Adam.
Full on British
I
now.
know. Well, when you spend enough time in London. Plus, I love it.
Yeah, where's my bear, yo? Hey, wait, okay, Steven, so you work with your dad. Let's talk about family.
Here we go,
And I'm going to bring
family.
it to this point. So, because this is shameless sex, right? And I think we talked about this a little last night, so you can kind of comment on whatever you want. But you were raised with, obviously, if you're selling lubricant with your dad, but sexuality wasn't shameful for you. Like, your parents are very accepting. There was no, like, you gotta wait till you're married and you do this, son. Or, like, was there, it sounds like the did they talk to you about sex? Did you get any, like, conversations about safer sex or what you should or shouldn't do?
No, they were terrible. I never had sex talk at all.
But now they sell lube together.
Yeah. All right. See, there was a lot of questions all wrapped into one. Let's see where I can start. Yeah, there was never any shame about sex in our family. We're a pretty open family. I'm trying to think back to when, the moment where I went to my parents and said, "Hey, Mom and Dad, good news. I'm starting a lube company." And I think one of our neighbors was, right around there, and they're like, "Can't you do something that's not evil?" Yeah.
Amazing.
But actually,
What did you say?
This actually gets into the whole. All right, we got a little tie-in with the shameless idea because, and I was kind of alluding to this before. When I came up with the product, it was a taboo subject. Lube, like women needed lube. Like you kind of buy that by yourself in the shadows. And I thought, well, that's ridiculous. We need to make this a comfortable product for women and men to buy and put it in comfortable atmospheres. Make it just a normal product. We wanted to have it be like your toothpaste. If you leave it out on the counter, it's like your toothpaste. There's no reason that lube should be in the shadows. It shouldn't have any taboo. We wanted to strip that away. So part of the idea was, how can we normalize this? How can we make this a normal everyday product that people can feel comfortable having, not feel like it's weird when their neighbors come over and, happen to have a bottle of lube.
What's that big, huge bottle of, I'm not going to name any brands because apparently I'm not supposed to do that. No, but like a big, huge thing with I understand what you're saying is, and it's, so this is like the bottle is beautiful. You can leave it on your nightstand. It doesn't scream big, scary lube bottle. It's gorgeous. And it looks like a cosmetic, and the product itself is really nice and sleek.
Yeah, I think we did an all right job with that. In fact, we didn't come up with the whole sports side of it. We just happen to have athletes that started using it for anti-chafe, running, marathons. We got email after email of people saying...
Don't lie. They used it for masturbation, got it on their nipples, went jogging.
Do you know how hard... Do you know how hard it is to
Uber Lube on my
masturbate?
nipples still. Like, shit, I could use this for jogging. That's really how it happened. Come on,
Adam,
Steven.
if anybody can masturbate during a marathon,
No, it's the-
it's you. But I don't believe that my
touche.
customers were doing that. But, who knows what they were doing. And then getting back, I did not at first want to work with my dad. He came to me and was like, son, we should go into business together. And he's had a lifelong, success as a salesman, and he wanted to be the Uber Lube guy. He's an amazing guy, and we get along famously.
Yeah, but Stephen, just to add, I've seen your dad, doing his thing, and boy, that guy can sell.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen people,
My dad is way cooler than I'll
Oh
ever
my
be.
goodness, I've seen
my
people
both
literally
my parents.
300
yeah.
feet away, and your dad is just beelined at them. Hey, I'm Jack. Can I say his name? I'm Jack, and come and see my lube. And I'm like, shit, that guy's got balls, right?
Yeah.
Like, go. Yeah, hi, I'm Jack. I'm going to sell you some Uber Lube. That's the best I can do.
Now wait, Stephen, you have to do your best British accent, please.
Okay, here it goes. I'm Adam Lewis, and I like to masturbate with seafood from fresh out of the microwave. And after lots of failures with other seafood, octopus came up to the forefront. I said, "What's better than a hand job? It's 8 hand jobs." And
Stephen, why do I feel you've practiced this speech before?
I know this is like the best part of what I've done so far, right?
Just nailed it. All right, so now everyone's really confused. Like, wait, what? How is seafood? What are we talking about? Yeah, I don't know. What is this? I like it.
The Jolly Wanker.
A
That's how
Jolly
I see you now.
Wanker. Well, yeah. So the wonderful thing here is we're dealing with products. So you all get to hear this kind of behind the scenes story. This is kind of one of the reasons why we wanted to share this with you, because a lot of these businesses in the sex toy industry just kind of started to make money, and they're just not necessarily kind of unique concepts,
Right.
or passion.
And let me, I'm sorry to interject.
no, get in there. You
Miss
interrupted,
Baldwin.
bitch.
But a lot of the companies out there, and we won't shame any of them or name any of them, they've been around for 40, 50 years, and they have a totally different way of presenting products. And I think the key with Uber Lube and with Hot Octopus is like innovation, and it's like the future of sex toys. Because think about it, they all were the same for a long time. Again, with lube and with sex toys, and I think that's why it's beautiful to speak with these two. You all are innovators and captivators and pioneers, and you're doing a fabulous job. Thank you, Adam, for giving me the vocabulary that I need. After a long day, I need it.
Well, and I think it's a privilege to hear the stories behind it, about where they came from and the inspiration and the hard work that's put into it, and the family business or the jet wanking or whatever. I think Al just gives people a different perspective, and I think takes away some of the shame of thinking that it's out of your reach, that you have to be a certain type of person to, I think I have people that look at me and all the things I do in the sex industry, and they're literally blown away by how I do it. And like we always talk about in this podcast, we are just we're maybe, for myself, I wasn't raised with a lot of shame around sexuality. And I also like to say that we're just well practiced in these conversations.
Yes. And furthermore, without further ado, you can live your dreams. Like you two were both doing something completely different that you weren't necessarily passionate about, and you two are now living.
Adam is pretty passionate about wanking.
No, but he wasn't. He wasn't doing something that was related to wanking, except in the evening when he went home. So that was the only thing. So you both are living your dreams. So everybody can do it.
This is the point when someone says follow your dreams. Even if you like wanking, it takes a while to really connect that is a dream you can really pursue.
Well, yes.
Like, what do you want to be? I want to be a professional wanker. That doesn't really work out 99.999%
Well, you could be in porn
of the time. Yeah, they wouldn't have me. I tried. They wouldn't
I
accept my
tried.
CV.
We're gonna take a picture of him, everyone. He's pretty good looking. So
Very
and that
handsome
accent,
gentleman.
He's pretty
Well,
good.
but
It's the non-compliant penis, I think, that kind of did it.
oh, there you go. But the point is, of course, it's not easy to start a sex toy company, but living your dreams, being passionate about something, if you have enough passion and drive, you can focus your energy and do whatever you want. It takes research, it takes hard work, it takes a lot of, your energy. But if you are you can do something that you really do believe in. And that's part of it. Power posing, being Actually, Adam was the one that recommended the 7 Habits
Of
to
highly
me.
effective people.
Yeah, it's an amazing book. And
Well, I read it before I heard her talk about it, but she's been quoting up a storm. That's from you.
Adam recommended I read it. I had heard of it, and I was like,
So if you read that book, everyone, you can get a professional career in wanking. It's a
yes.
and a lot of practice.
But
yes.
now, and we're all living our, like, what maybe I don't want to be all whimsical and say dreams, but you can do what you set your mind to. And I think that that's something that is important. So believe in yourself. If you have a passion, do what you're passionate. If you fucking want to be a musician, but you suck at music, work every day for 2 hours, come home at night, practice. And the same thing with if you want differences in your life, changes in your life, practice, use the tools that are out there for you to better yourself. Power pose, always. Get into the octopus stage. That's like your arms out and your legs
like
out.
the starfish?
The octopus.
Like the starfish song?
I'm changing it to the hot octopus pose now.
What is the song?
I'm a motherfucking
No,
starfish.
you gotta do hot octopus. I'm a motherfucking
Puss.
octopus.
Octopuses.
Damn it.
Damn
You
it.
failed.
Well, okay. So in conclusion,
We're concluding.
I just wanted to say that about you two because you both are an inspiration. So thank you. Really. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I adore you both.
I think we could sit here and tell you all kinds of like the key selling points. Oh, wait. Look.
Sorry, we're passing microphones.
I like
back and
this
forth,
game.
So I just want to say, I
I want a British aw.
Sounds quite American. I
can't
think it's a
compete with that
universal I don't think
accent.
there's
He's
any-
even the laziest just beats my
But what April says is completely true. You got to follow your dreams, but it's not so simple as that. You've got to really be determined. You can't let obstacles slow you down and stop you. But you got to be dogged and you got to really fight for what you want and not give up. And I think that's where most people fail. Everyone has a great idea, but very few people actually act on it and make it happen. And I think that's the hard thing. So all you dreamers out there, all of you who've got great ideas, get off your fucking asses and just do it.
I agree wholeheartedly with that. That's a great way to express that. And you know what? Furthermore, you don't even have to have a great idea. It can be a good, mediocre, or we've all seen a lot of shitty ideas that make a lot of money on the tops of your local drugstore shelves. It takes it just takes really, like what Adam said, is taking something and leaning your shoulder into it and driving it. It's not as hard as you think if you persevere and reach out to the people around you, because you'll be surprised how many people know things that you learn from or can help you out in ways that you wouldn't have expected.
Perseverance. It's big. Empowerment, yo.
Perseverance is
'Cause
an empowered
knowledge
way
is
to
power.
live. So anything else we want with these? We have to go to a party. I know it's our life is
Okay,
really
everyone,
hard.
Let's end with your
A song?
best naughty,
kidding.
your best naughty joke.
Ooh,
But that's not too offensive.
Oh, with either anyone,
Anyone
or
got a best naughty joke?
it's either that, a best naughty joke, or
A real life story.
a real life sex story that you like weirdest place you've had sex or most interesting place you've had sex. You don't have to do either of them. It's a freedom zone.
I'm a father of 2, so I have great dad gags. What's a Shih Tzu? No, it's a zoo without any animals in it. That's my gag.
That was good. My joke is I learned from you. I only know one joke, everyone, because my memory can't retain jokes. And it's, what did one saggy boob say to the other saggy boob? What? Perk up, they think we're nuts. Adam likes it. I learned it from April years ago, and it's the only joke I know.
The fact I think it's good does not mean anything.
At least a British guy likes it.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in every Tuesday for the Shameless Sex Podcast. Remember to review us on iTunes, on our website, on all the things, because we love you so much. And always feel free to email us with questions. We do appreciate comments, especially the support and the love. Thank you. And if you have any ideas or sex questions, we're happy to answer them. So tune in every Tuesday, and ciao for now.
Don't forget to head on over to our website at shamelesssex.com for more. And for 15% off of some of our favorite sex toys, use coupon code SHAMELESSPP in all caps at purepleasureshop.com.